that as we remember to come back over and over. Just here, just this breathing and being breathed. It actually helps the whole world. Remember, basic ground, basic goodness, that we're all in this together.
And I'm still kind of adjusting to life outside of the monastery. I just wanted to say that if anybody needs some support with garden work or just support around the home right now, I'm just volunteering. And if people have a contribution to make, great. But if not, I'm in the area, just supporting my son as he finishes up high school. And just wanted to offer.
Cool. If you want to write something up and put it there, and we could put it in the newsletter too, that'd be great. Yeah. Adjusting from Tassajara is, yeah, I lived at Tassajara for a number of years. So, yep. And the world needs Tassajara people in the world. So the other thing I wanted to say is Howard Fields died, and there was a ceremony for him yesterday that I went to. I'm in a little Jewish ceremony, a little Jewish cemetery that's down in outside of Richmond. I've never been there. It's really beautiful. Norman did a really simple little ceremony, and there were just a few of us. But I'm so used to, because most of what we do now is everybody's cremated. But in the Jewish tradition, he wasn't cremated, and we got to. I mean, to me, this is like, we did this with my father, not because he was Jewish, but because it was really small and in the country. Throw the soil into the hole on top of the grave, and somebody's going off. No, that's not really who've got shooted off. Anyway, it's so tender, whether you're sending a body into the flames or down into the earth of everybody's gonna die. This is shocking news. Every time. I mean, we think we know it, but we really don't know it, and we really don't think. I don't think the self can get it's too selfie to imagine that it's not always going to be here. That's just sort of counterintuitive to a self. But we do know it on some level, which is, I think, why we come to practice and why we sit and but it's just an affirmation again. Is, you get irritated with yourself or other people, or just, it really helps me sometimes just to, oh, this person's dying. I mean, from the minute you're born, you're dying. I mean, you're living too, but this person's gonna die. Like, how can we all help each other live in peace and goodness and kindness? Which takes us into uh, further into Bodhisattvas, which I did some introduction on Tuesday. Some of you were there. I'm going to keep going today, and we're going to do this for a number of weeks. We'll focus on the traditional archetypes, which I want to talk a little bit about today, but I also want to expand it and include it into some of the Tibetan figures. I'm especially looking forward to the wrathful deities this time, just because they're so. I think they're beautiful, and I remember early on practicing with someone. Well, it was with Sultra Malioni, and someone said to her, "Why don't you just call wrathful deities angry?" and she said they're not angry. And you shouldn't do, I mean, those weren't her words, shouldn't do wrathful deities until you've done peaceful deities. And I think there's a lot there for all of us. And what is that anyway? And I also different people are going to be talking, and we'll be looking at African American liberation and ancestral practices, bodhisattva practice, and sanctuary movement, and the sanctuary, and Isan Dorsey, and AIDS, and there's one other one I wanted. Anyway, I really want to expand this into looking at, there are bodhisattvas everywhere. We're all bodhisattvas if we can just see through the eyes of Buddha and goodness. So Bodhi is the state of being awake. What is it? And sattva is a being or an awake mind. So bodhisattva is one whose vow, intention, life force, aliveness is directed towards awakening, enlightening, being awake to the truth of no separation, being awake to the truth of love, being awake to the jewel net of Indra, that everything ripples, and all the things that we've been referencing in Yogacara and the Avatamsaka Sutra and the Bodhisattva is one who knows there's suffering, who knows everyone's going to die, and who wants to be here to help. So the mythic archetypes were seated in early India and then went into China about 2,000 years ago. And so there are two, there are the traditional archetypes, which we're going to study, and then there's bodhisattva activity that became more and more brought forward in China and now in the West as activity in the world, bodhisattva activity in the world. Predicated in, grounded in, everyone is Buddha waking up to be Buddha. The Lotus Sutra, we studied that. I'm going to bring that forward, I think, some next week too. Everything is Buddha nature. The entire world is Buddha's body. That's one of my most favorite. The entire world is Buddha's body, all of it, all inclusive. And any of us can be a bodhisattva for ourselves, for the world, if we're open to seeing and experiencing each other as bodhisattvas and Buddhas. I used to, when I was a therapist, I always had this really strong feeling that it's great when you have a discipline like being a therapist, you know, when you're walking around just much more in your personality, but because I was there with the healing capacity, is I could completely see the person as Buddha. And I could also, to the best of my eyes could see, I could completely see the person and the personality and the pain and the suffering and the habit patterns. And they're not separate, but they're kind of what we all need. See ourselves as Buddha and to wake up in the midst of. And we're a little deluded. So bodhisattvas, the term is used in two ways. One, as a kind of rank or title for the great, well-known, and basically mystical bodhisattvas. We're going to go over that a little bit on the sheet today. They're often called great ones. I think they're like in Christianity, like the saints, you know, when you go in the Catholic Church and they're all, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it kind of feels that way to me. They symbolize compassion and wisdom and serve as role models for what we can be. The second is it doesn't represent a rank or a status, but a kind of relational activity. Anyone can be a bodhisattva for someone else, for the world, for ourselves. It's a way of being. So it's a way of carrying out the work of Buddha and the vow, bodhisattva vow, to not, well, here's the language, settle into salvation of final Buddhahood. Like, poof, I finally became one with everything. Instead, it's like, poof, here I am, full embodied human being. I think the greatest thing about this tradition is to be a true human being. And what is that? And how do we live it? The key aspect is the commitment or dedication to a way of awakening and to carrying this out, to the way of awakening and carrying this out. And where it starts is bodhicitta. It's the aspiration to care for and awaken all beings. And it's said that when this arises, I said this on Tuesday, but I'll say again because I always thought bodhicitta kind of sounded like, woohoo, it was just all going to feel all tingly and happy. And I mean, and maybe it doesn't feel that way, and probably does, but it's the quivering of the heart. It's like the heart starts to quiver and wake up. And Tibetan Trungpa and Pema, it's the genuine heart of sadness. It's like the heart just gets so tender. You just don't want to do anything but care for yourself and the world and people and the earth. Well, that's one thing we're going to focus on the earth as Bodhisattva too. And in our tradition, it's rooted in the 4 inconceivable Bodhisattva vows. They're impossible. You can't do them. They're undoable. And there's nothing else to do. And I, for one, love this because I feel like there's no end to it. I will never be bored. And it's like, what else am I going to do with my one precious life? So beings are numberless. I vow to save them. I've like saying I vow to save and be saved by them. That everything and everyone is endowed with Buddha nature. And saving someone is saving ourselves, is allowing awakening the freedom for each person and each thing to express itself fully and completely in its own unique way. So it's not like, oh, you're going to get enlightened and be awake and be rubber stamped, and we're going to walk around and say, oh, that person looks like a Buddha. We're going to walk around and say, oh, that Sue looks just like Sue. So it's awakening to your own true nature through completely the body, heart, mind packaging skin bag you got. I love this. Second, delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. We recognize we have infinite delusions, which another translation is desires. The self is just a little self bag. It's not because it's bad or wrong. It's just like, here I am. I mean, that's the baby's born. It's like, here I am. And then you develop a personality and you have likes and you dislikes and you have wounds and you, But I vow to, Manjushri has a sword to cut through, to wake up in the midst of them and to not believe them, that that's the truth of what's really going on here. That what is really going on here is waking up to love in the deepest sense. Third, beings are numberless, I vow to save them. Delusions are inexhaustible, I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless, I vow to end them. Everything. Well, the teachings are boundless. The sutras are boundless, but the world is boundless. So each moment, everything is teaching us and giving us everything that we need. So seeing every encounter as a potential source of awakening and teaching. Whether we like it, don't like it, whatever it is, that's not, I mean, it's not the point, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, pay attention. But it's fundamentally just bow, just bow. Thank you, Buddha world, for helping me wake up. And the fourth, Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to become it. I vow to live it, to experience it, to embody it, to take refuge in Buddha in each moment, to keep flying home to the deepest truth. So what else are you going to do with your life? I'll ask you later. Maybe you can think of better things to do. Then you can do that too, or in addition, or instead of. So I thought, let's just take a minute, and you have these little chart. Oh, this book, which we're using Rafe Martin's book, the Zen Life of Bodhisattvas. But we're also using, I think, probably primarily Taigen's Faces of Compassion. And it's actually, there is a PDF that
We just shared it with everybody at home.
oh, good. And
Yeah,
we're going to
cool.
put it on the website. And so you can look at the book. And there's a little chart at the back. We're going to go over it. We're going to spend a whole time on each of these the archetypes of the Buddhas, but I thought we'd just go through them for a minute. I know it's hard to read, but you can have it. Maybe it'll.
We have one more copy.
You have to share.
It's hard to share.
There's over behind you, there's none.
And I think there's some on the chairs behind you, maybe.
No problem. Here.
And you guys, I think, have something in chat.
Are we the same on?
They have the whole book.
Yeah, they got it.
This is just like a little reference. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but just to help ground us. These are the bodhisattvas that Taigen focuses on, and they are the traditional ones. Shakyamuni Buddha, the sage of the Shakyas. Primary perfections: effort, meditation, wisdom. And the Buddha woke up of this life, of this era, woke up by touching the earth. Earth touching Buddha. I'm skipping around. This is, you can use it as you want. Manjushri.
Oh.
Manjushri is who is on the altar in Zendos of Prajnaparamita Sutra's wisdom, cutting through the delusion of seeing things as separate. Judith told me that the Russian River Zendo had a big Manjushri tanka that she has, that she's going to start bringing so that we can have Manjushri here. The Green Gulch Zendo. That's one of the most, the main figure. That's one of the most beautiful Manjushris and it doesn't have a sword. Manjushri sometimes is holding the Prajnaparamita Sutras, and in this case is holding a lotus. Wisdom, ethical conduct, meditation, carries a sword or a Prajnaparamita scroll. Samantabhadra. Different people, these all have different kind of qualities. Like Samantabhadra was Steve Stuckey. Samantabhadra was his dude. When he died, he had Samantabhadra there. Blanche, I think Samantabhadra. These are Zen Center abbesses. Samantabhadra rides a white elephant with 6 tusks. Samantabhadra we didn't do the chapter in the Avatamsaka Sutra, but the final chapter is all about Samantabhadra and about vow and knowledge and meditative powers. And the quality is of universal goodness. Avalokiteshvara, Kuan Yin, Chenrezig, Kanon, Tara. We're going to focus on Tara some too. I don't really want to bring her forward. She, Avalokiteshvara, the regarder of the cries of the world. Avalokiteshvara of the Lotus Sutra, generosity, skillful means, patience, powers, 1,000 heads and arms. found an article that said, I'm going to bring it forward one, is what happens when a bodhisattva breaks. Do you know the story about Avalokiteshvara? I love, that's one of my most favorite stories about how Avalokiteshvara got all her hands and eyes is, well, I'll do this again, but it was working really, really hard to save all beings and thought it cleaned up the whole mess. And then looked, and there was more suffering pouring in all the gates everywhere, and Avalokiteshvara's head just exploded, and that's how she got 7 heads. So now you can see in all directions and all those hands and eyes. So if you feel like your head or your heart's exploding, that's just part of it. Kitsagarbha, which is Jizo. Earth womb, earth storehouse, vow, ethical conduct, powers, effort. It's just a little monk. You know, Jizo is one of my favorites. Just Jizo does transitions, especially of women and children, and turns out vets and firefighters. And Jizo just loves hell realms. It's like, oh boy, how can I go help? Maitreya is the future Buddha Bodhisattva, the loving kindness, loving one. Patience, meditation, generosity, is often sitting, has their legs like in a chair, sitting, touching the earth. And Vimalakirti is known because of Vimalakirti Sutra and of lay practice, but we're going to bring forward other lay practitioners. Knowledge, wisdom, skillful means. Okay, that's just an overview, but we'll do this a lot more, but in slower and with more focus. But what I want to do now, with the help of Pema Chodron, we're going to do a bodhicitta practice. And I've adjusted it a little bit, but let's all just take sitting posture, settle ourselves. Bodhicitta practice is a method for generating love and compassion for all human beings. Emma says, sometimes when we do this kind of bodhicitta practice, we touch on what immediately awakens a warm practice in us. Other times, though, we can just feel numb. And then there are times when we contact the hardness of our heart. Noticing this is very good because it shows us when we're open and when we're closed. We should notice all these things with compassion and loving kindness towards ourselves, because the more we're able to feel tenderness towards ourselves, the more easily it flows to others. I'll begin by bringing to mind, thinking of a person whose suffering you feel strongly and whose happiness is really important to you. Could be someone you know or have known, someone you've seen on the street or read about in the newspaper. Because we care about them and don't want them to suffer, it's easy to awaken bodhicitta when they come into our awareness. And as you think of such a person, and whether you feel love or gratitude or compassion for them, say silently to yourself, to them, may you be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May you enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May you be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May you enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. And so as we continue with this practice, there's two aspects of working with bodhicitta. One is connecting with the flow of bodhicitta we already feel or easily access. And the other is being awake to where that flow is blocked. So we move into practicing not just with people we care about, but visualizing people that don't like. Cultivating a compassionate attitude towards whatever is arising, or at least an unbiased, open awareness. So now think of an area in the world that's in great turmoil. An area where you know people and animals are suffering a lot. And when you've chosen that place, think of the men and women there. And say to yourself and extend it out, may all the men and all the women in this place be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May they enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. May all the men and all the women in this place in the world where there is great turmoil be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May they enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. And now think of all the children in this place of turmoil. And in your own way, in your own words, extend the wish that all the children in this place be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May they enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. Now call into your awareness all the animals in this place. The mammals, the birds, the fish, the insects, and all the other animals. And extend to them. May all the animals in this place be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May they enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. Then let your mind and your awareness expand to include all of the men and all of the women on this planet. Whether you respect them, feel neutral towards them, or consider them bad people, wish that all the men and all the women everywhere be free of suffering and the root of suffering, and extend the wish that they can know happiness and the root of happiness. Knowing that as we extend this, that if each person can more and more be free of self-absorption that causes so much pain, there will be peace. And now extend it to include all the children on the earth. Whether you like them, dislike them, feel neutral about them, wish that all the children everywhere be free of suffering, free of the root of suffering, enjoy happiness, the root of happiness, and that the world be at peace. Now extend this to include all the animals on the planet. Let's do sentient and insentient beings, animals, rocks, trees. May they be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May they enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. And then let's just bring it right back here. This beating heart, breath, this particular embodiment. And wish that this self be free from self-clinging and awaken to compassion and love and caring activity in each moment. So I'm kind of inclined to just keep us all together and have it just, what did you experience? What came up? And I mean, and as always, being honest, you know. Likes, dislikes, hopes, fears.